It was January 26th, 2004. If you were using Windows 2000 or XP back then, you might have received an email with a strange random subject line. The contents varied, but the goal was always the same: to deceive you. The email claimed the message was encrypted, and to read it, you'd need to open the attached file. Curiosity might have gotten the better of you. You clicked the attachment, expecting to see something, anything, but nothing happened. At least, nothing you could see. In that moment, you'd fallen into the trap. Unbeknownst to you, a worm named MYDOOM had slithered into your system. It wasn't just any malware, it was a relentless, highly sophisticated piece of code that left devastation in its wake. The worm began its work quietly. It created a mutex, a safeguard to prevent multiple instances of itself from running simultaneously, then copied itself to your System32 folder, masquerading as a legitimate Windows file, taskmon.exe. To ensure its survival, it created registry entries, ensuring it would start every time your computer booted up. While you were busy Googling something mundane, MYDOOM worked behind the scenes, planting a secondary file named shimapi.dll. This malicious file operated as a backdoor, granting MYDOOM complete access to your system. Through this backdoor, the worm could download and execute files from the internet at will, turning your computer into its puppet. You wouldn't notice anything unusual at first, but your device was now compromised. Worse, MYDOOM wasn't just after you. It used your network to spread itself, sending copies to every email address in your contact list, except those belonging to government agencies, universities, or large corporations. This wasn't an oversight, it was a calculated move to evade detection for as long as possible. Within hours, MYDOOM had infected countless systems. Like a digital cancer, it spread from device to device, each one becoming a part of its growing army. By the end of its first day, 1 in every 10 emails worldwide carried the worm. Internet speeds across the globe dropped by 10%, and web page load times slowed by 50%. The world was beginning to feel the weight of MYDOOM's impact. Speculation pointed to Russia as the origin of the first infected emails, but no one could say for certain who was behind the attack. What was clear, however, was MYDOOM's next move. It had a built-in timer set to February 1st. On that day, it would launch DDoS-distributed denial-of-service attacks against a specific target, a software company called SCO Group. DDoS attacks are designed to overwhelm a server or network with fake requests, consuming its resources and rendering it inoperable. Normally, a single device couldn't generate enough traffic to cause serious damage, but MYDOOM had an entire botnet, a network of compromised devices at its disposal. Laptops, phones, smart vacuums, even smart fridges, all infected and unknowingly participating in its malicious campaign. As February 1st approached, the SCO Group's website suddenly went offline. Was it MYDOOM? No one could say for sure, but suspicion was high. The very next day, January 27th, SCO Group offered a $250,000 bounty for information, leading to the capture of the person behind MYDOOM. Even the FBI and Secret Service launched their own investigations. MYDOOM wasn't just another worm, it was a masterclass in malware engineering. It disrupted the internet, paralyzed companies, and evaded capture. And while its origin remains a mystery to this day, its legacy serves as a chilling reminder of the power and danger of unchecked technology in the wrong hands. By January 28th, just 2 days after the initial outbreak, a new version of MYDOOM emerged, MYDOOM.b. Once again, the emails carrying the worm originated in Russia, but this variant had some alarming new tricks. Unlike the first version, MYDOOM-B actively blocked infected devices from accessing over 60 antivirus websites, making it even harder to detect and remove. It retained the original timer, planning DDoS attacks against SCO.com on February 1st. But this time, it introduced an additional target, Microsoft.com, scheduled for February 3rd. Hidden within the worm's code was an encrypted message, unreadable to the average user. When experts decrypted it, they were met with a cryptic and eerie phrase, "I'm just sorry." This message sparked intense debate among cybersecurity professionals. One camp believed the creator of MYDOOM might have been hired by an unknown entity to develop the malware and was now expressing regret for their actions. Others dismissed it as a mocking distraction meant to throw investigators off the trail. By January 29th, MYDOOM.B had reached its peak. It was now present in 1 out of every 5 email messages globally. Despite its rapid spread, a fortunate coding flaw in this version slowed its infection rate, giving some systems a fighting chance. That same day, Microsoft joined SEO Group in offering a $250,000 bounty for information leading to the creator of MYDOOM. Together, the total reward reached $500,000, a testament to how dangerous this worm had become. February 2004, 1 million victims and a cyber war. As February began, nearly 1 million devices worldwide were infected with MYDOOM. The stage was set for its DDoS attacks. On February 1st, MYDOOM launched its assault on SEO.com. But SEO had anticipated the attack and took proactive measures, removing its domain from DNS records on January 31st, effectively making it invisible to the worm. 2 days later, on February 3rd, MYDOOM.B turned its sights on Microsoft.com, but Microsoft too had prepared. The company redirected traffic to a backup site, information.microsoft.com, ensuring its primary website remained operational. The attacks, though disruptive, lacked the power to bring down Microsoft's main site, a small victory against the chaos MYDOOM sought to unleash. February 9th, MYDOOM.C emerges. As the world was still reeling from the damage caused by the first 2 variants, a third version of the worm, MYDOOM.C, appeared. It used the same backdoor as its predecessors to spread, but with a narrower focus. Instead of attempting to infect new devices, it targeted systems already compromised by MYDOOM-A and MYDOOM.B. Its sole purpose? To launch a concentrated wave of attacks against Microsoft. Fortunately, MYDOOM.C faced diminishing returns. By this point, many of the devices infected by earlier versions had been cleaned or taken offline, limiting its effectiveness. The cybersecurity world had gained valuable experience in handling MYDOOM's attacks, and the coordinated efforts of antivirus companies, tech giants, and law enforcement meant this latest version struggled to replicate the chaos of its predecessors. Though MYDOOM's grip on the internet weakened with time, its impact was a wake-up call for the digital age. It highlighted the vulnerabilities of interconnected systems and the devastating consequences of a well-crafted malware campaign. Even today, the origins of MYDOOM remain a mystery, and its legacy serves as a chilling reminder of the power wielded by those who operate in the shadows of cyberspace. February 12, 2004, MYDOOM-A, the malware that had wreaked havoc across the internet, was programmed to stop spreading on this day. But while its viral replication ceased, the backdoor it created remained very much alive. These backdoors continued to leave infected systems vulnerable, an ominous reminder that MYDOOM's shadow was far from gone. February 20, 2004, a new version of MYDOOM emerged, reigniting the chaos. This variant launched relentless DDoS attacks, once again targeting Microsoft.com and a new victim, RIA.com. With each new iteration of the malware, the costs to companies piled higher and higher. Combating such attacks was always expensive, draining resources as businesses scrambled to protect themselves. March 1, 2004. MYDOOM.B, like its predecessor, was set to halt its spread. However, the damage was already done. The backdoors it left in its wake meant that infected systems were still compromised, ready to be exploited for future attacks. March 3, 2004, yet another version, MYDOOM.G, made its debut. This time, the malware aimed its DDoS arsenal at Symantec.com, a leading antivirus company. By now, the cumulative damage caused by MYDOOM was staggering. It surpassed all previous malware in terms of impact, speed, and sheer destruction. July 26, 2004, a new and particularly aggressive version of MYDOOM appeared, MYDOOM.0. Unlike its predecessors, it wasted no time and launched immediate attacks on major search engines, including Lycos, AltaVista, and the internet giant Google. The sheer volume of traffic overwhelmed the servers, causing these search engines to slow dramatically for hours. For Google, the attack was so severe that its search engine experienced widespread outages for much of the day, a rare event that highlighted the worm's unparalleled power. September 23, 2004, MYDOOM continued to evolve, with 4 new versions, MYDOOM.x, W, Y, and V, surfacing on the same day. By this point, the total number of MYDOOM variants exceeded 10, each with unique features and varying sources, making it difficult for cybersecurity teams to keep track. What was clear, however, was the devastation MYDOOM had caused. By the end of 2004, the financial losses attributed to MYDOOM reached an estimated $38 billion, cementing its place as the most destructive malware in history. As the chaos of MYDOOM began to subside, the world experienced an uneasy calm. For 5 years, no major events were linked to MYDOOM, but in July 2009, the storm returned. A series of coordinated cyber attacks targeted at least 39 websites in South Korea and the United States, including government sites like the Pentagon, the White House, and South Korea's Ministry of Defense. The attacks crippled financial news and government platforms. Investigators traced the DDoS assaults to a network of 166,000 infected devices, many of which still bore the fingerprints of MYDOOM. Shockingly, researchers discovered that a portion of the malicious code used in these attacks had been repurposed from MYDOOM, breathing new life into its legacy. The attacks were attributed to a militia group called SKUD, which had weaponized the remnants of the notorious worm. MYDOOM's impact remains a stark reminder of the Internet's vulnerabilities. Over a decade after its initial outbreak, its legacy continues to haunt cybersecurity experts and serve as a chilling example of how a single piece of malicious code can disrupt the world. Whether through its direct attacks or the repurposing of its code, MYDOOM left an indelible mark on the digital age, a shadow that lingers in every corner of the cyber world.